Hi everyone, we're talking about all things pelvic floor. So another common question that I get is about prenatal exercises. What should we be doing for our pelvic floor prenatally while we're pregnant? And that's a great question because if you think about the pelvic floor, and if you haven't watched these videos, I encourage you to, the functions of the pelvic floor, go check that out. It has multiple different uses, multiple different functions. And whenever it comes to pregnancy, whenever it comes to childbirth, it has different functions there as well. So think about during your first and second trimester, as your body is starting to obviously grow and change, your baby is starting to grow, you have that additional weight that is placed on the pelvic floor. As the baby initially starts to get bigger, there's almost a lifting of the uterus, a lifting of the structures away from the pelvic floor, so you won't have as much pressure downwards. But then more towards that third trimester, latter second trimester into third, we're going to get that little bit of descent of the uterus as the baby grows and fills and starts to press downwards, which is what we want to happen. Now, whenever we have this beautiful pelvic floor, we probably need to start strengthening it a little bit in the first few months of pregnancy, just to give it that added support, structure, connection. So that's usually what I have individuals start doing at the beginning, is just getting connected with the pelvic floor and learning how to optimally and appropriately contract the pelvic floor and lift, and then relax. So we're going to establish that connection. Optimizing your breathing during that time is a really good idea. And then towards the latter section, the latter half of the pregnancy, I like to switch it up a little bit. It's going to be less about that contract and lift. It's going to be more about that descent and relaxation. So we will be practicing our breathing. We'll be practicing that connection to our pelvic floor. We're just going to flip the focus from contraction with that relaxation to a minor contraction maybe, and then mainly focusing on softening and relaxing through breath. So again, the first half, we work on lifting the pelvic floor, maybe using 50 to 75% of our strength, and then relaxing it in kind. Latter half, we're going to still get a little bit of that contraction, get a little bit of that connection on, 25 to 50% of our strength, lifting the pelvic floor, but then we're going to take extra time letting it soften and relax and give way. Using breath, using strategies like that. I cover this in the fundamentals course for postpartum, but those key exercises still apply. I encourage you to go check out my Starting Line Postpartum ebook, because actually I love people to get that during their third trimester of pregnancy, just because I give some exercises that will help them prepare for birth and then also set them up for proper healing after labor and delivery. So go check that out if you haven't, and stay tuned for more things about all pelvic floor.